Welcome to Arundel Castle Gardens. It's beautiful at this time of year. The spring is in the air. I mean, look at this, amazing wisteria. And we've got thalectrum out in flowers and the allium. The alliums are everywhere at the moment. It's beautiful. It's just lovely to stroll through the gardens at this time of year. And we've got the beautiful Angelique, which is a lovely double late-flowered tulip. And now we're just going to walk through these wonderful, wonderful borders, which we call them the cathedral borders. And through here we've got cardoons. These are artichokes, and they're known as cardoons, and they're beautiful flowers. Where we've even got tree peonies coming out. And we've got a wide range of tulips, which are the later flowering tulips. And then in the pots, these are much later flowering tulips. We've got this lovely Virginia creeper, Parthenocyssus tricuspidata, covering the archway. And as we move through here, we're walking into our beautiful, soft English herbaceous borders. And again, we have some lovely tulips. We've got white triumphata, Angelique and Avita. So these are much later flowering tulips, so we always have an extended period. And then we're walking into our lovely English herbaceous borders. I just love English borders. So all the plants here, things like Nepeta, Nepeta Walker's Low, and we've got Alchemilla. And we've also got perennial geraniums, and these all just flow and cascade onto the path. And then as the season goes on, we then get the thalectrums coming out. We've got lovely lupins, we've also got delphiniums and macleia. So these are always full, and lovely verbena later on in the year. And through here we've got the double flowering late peony flowered tulips throughout, sort of leading you in the circle, and then at the end the same again, sort of reflecting the whole area as one. This was a stone fountain we got made from Cornish slate, and it really is very effectual here. And then we've got the stumpery through there, and in the stumpery we've got an amazing amount of different flowers at the moment. We're just wandering into the stumpery. It's fantastic. I mean, look at the bluebells coming out, all the fronds of all the ferns beginning to come through, and the hostas. We've got some beautiful hostas, Martican lilies, which flower later on. And there's the Dickinsonia antarctica. We've just cut the old fronds, and look how quickly the new fronds are growing up. And as we go through, we've got this beautiful blueprint. That's one of the Sissinghurst irises, flag iris, beautiful. And then we've got black parrot tulips coming through, and they're a much later tulip. And a peony, another 2 weeks, that peony will be out in flower. So it's quite an unusual stumpery, but great fun. And the echiums, towering echiums everywhere. And what's great about echiums, they only live they're biennial, so they only have 2 seasons. But what's quite interesting is their first season, they have huge leaves but don't flower. Their second season, like now, they flower, look majestic and amazing, and then they seed, and then they die. But then they put so many seeds, they spread everywhere, and then you can take the seeds and plant them somewhere else. So amazing, and the bees absolutely love the echiums. We're going into into an area we call the Wildflower Garden. So at this time of year we have en masse tulips, but at a later date these are all going to come out, and they will be dried and stored, and then we're going to seed this with annual wildflowers. And literally in 3 months' time, you'll see, even 2 months, you'll see a total transformation where we have beautiful wildflowers which will be in full flower. One of the most important wildflowers in this garden will be Phacelia, which attracts all the bees and the butterflies. We always like a bit of fun in the gardens, so one of our volunteers, not doing too much today. Now we're going into the wonderful organic kitchen garden, and throughout here you'll find fruit, flowers and veg, and these are the wonderful apples, nearly all Sussex varieties of apples, things like Egremont russet, but beautiful, beautiful blossom. And then we've got all the Mysotis running around the area. Here's another type of apple which is called Peasgood nonsuch, and Peasgood would be at least half the size of a football. They become massive, very good cooking apple. And what's so nice about this is as we walk around we can actually look back on the herbaceous borders. So if we walk through here you'll see the look from a different angle. So you go through our wonderful organic kitchen garden. Everything is done organically here. So you can see the carrots are sown in amongst the garlic. The carrot fly hate the smell of onions and garlic, and the onion fly hate the smell of carrots. So it works really well. But if you look through here, you're looking now at the wonderful English herbaceous borders from a different angle, and it looks stunning. It's beautiful at this time of year. Everything's always very busy at this time of year, and as you can see the cold frames are full of plants, and this is what we call a hardening off area. So out of the glass house or polytunnels we put them out here, which isn't heated, so we close the cold frame tops and then lift them during the day, and then the plants won't get frosted. But it also gives them time to adapt to a sort of colder temperature, so they're not going straight out into the ground. We're just coming up now to Izzy, who's hard at work, and she's the organic kitchen gardener and does all this fantastic work in here. And she's putting kale in, and she's got these were all grown earlier and they're going to be planted up now. And what's really lovely about this garden, it's not actually all done in the normal way. So it's mixed with fruit, flowers, fruits and vegetables together, but the flowers bring in all those beneficial insects. So it's really beneficial to the garden, and because it's organic, it's a very good way of controlling pests. And now we'll wander through the apple orchards, which just look wonderful at this time of year. And we just around the circle here where we've got our angel lead pond, there's a wonderful arrangement of chives. We've got thyme, different herbs surrounding here, lavenders. So it's a wonderful thing to be able to pick a whole load of herbs and then take them to the kitchen. And now we've got a bit of sunshine, even better still. Got some wonderful plants here. We've actually got an Eremurus lily, which is quite early, but it's in flower now already. And we put some extra Eremurus lilies through, so it's going to look stunning in a few weeks' time. Camasias, alliums, lupins, all beginning to come into their own. And this is beginning to really come on leaps and bounds, where we've got these beautiful bow tie beds of later flowering tulips, where we've got Passionale, Mistress, Pulchera, Gascoigne, and these are Allium Christophii. They're just beginning to show their heads, but that's through the lavender. So those Christophii will come out of the lavender and end up looking like hot air balloons. And we've already got some of the white alliums coming into flower. We're coming into the Peony flowered garden. And you can see the heads. I mean, that's amazing heads on alliums. And then we've got the peonies just beginning to form some beautiful heads. So there'll be a lovely combination in about 3 weeks' time of peonies, white alliums, purple alliums, and it'll look stunning throughout here. We've also got Jackmanii, clematis, which are climbing way up here and have beautiful purple flower. So this is a stunning little part of the garden. And we also have roses, so you get the scent. I mean, there is actually, what's amazing, that really is early. I mean, look at that peony, it's just beginning to open. Wow, fantastic. And then we have the wallflowers here, just to give that little bit of extra scent. Now we're just walking through the amazing 1852 vine house. Can you imagine? And look what amazing condition this glass house is in. It is a fantastic glass house. And in here we have obviously the grapevines. These are grown on a rod system, and we get amazingly sweet grapes. We've got grapes like Black Hamburg, and beautiful tasting grapes. It's a lovely area, and we have a collection of pelargoniums. And then into the second glass house, which is attached, we have the peach house, and you can actually see the peaches forming. And these are the donut peach. So they're different names for it. And then we have the more classic, sort of more English style peaches. So again, this is where we put the sweet peas, but the change in the garden is changing so rapidly. We've got the centaurea, we've got the delphiniums shooting out of the ground. The sweet peas are beginning to take and climb up the brash sticks or the pea sticks. And so this garden just changes day by day. We've got the Alchemilla mollis, which is like a hedge surrounding it. But I mean, wow, look at that centaurea. And this part of the garden, what we use it for mostly is just this little section is for little posies which go in the bedrooms of the castle, because it's so easy to make them. So in about 5 weeks' time, I'll have centaurea, Alchemilla mollis, the sweet peas will be in flower, and you can make a posy. You can actually do posies literally within about, they only take about 2 or 3 minutes, and then they go into small vases in the bedrooms, which is wonderful because all your plants are in this one area, so you're not having to run around trying to cut flowers from every different part of the garden, which is a great help. And then in the back we've got our last of the tulips, got some amazing tulips there, White Dream, Angelique, Francoise, and they'll be over probably in a week's time, but it's lovely to still see some of the later flowering tulips out. I know there's a wheelbarrow over here, but actually this is what I sort of call, it looks slightly Mediterranean as you go through to the stumpery in a different way. So I really like this sort of section of garden looking up at the cathedral. And now I think we can walk through some of the tropical borders. The last of the tulips in the tropical borders are flowering. So we've had Firework, Fly Away, beautiful Sundowner. But what I'm really enjoying here is seeing some of the rheums. These are artificial rhubarb, and look at the size of that with a stunning flower. But everything in the herbaceous borders are growing so quickly, or tropical borders. But what we'll do here in this a bit later on, in a month's time, we'll be planting out canna lilies. We've got some agapanthus for these borders. So other plants will fill in any gaps that we need to fill in when the tulips have gone over. And but there's still an array of colour here. And there's an allium coming up. That actually only flowers. It's this very tall one, Summer Drummer. And that'll only flower around about July. So it's a very late allium, where we've got a lot of other alliums beginning to flower, like Purple Rain, Not too far away we'll have Purple Sensation, Christophii, Schubertii, so wide range of different alliums throughout the gardens. And now you can actually see the labyrinth of tulips is over, but it has been stunning. So what we'll do now is let this die down, ready for next year. But it's still quite nice just wandering through it, just with the stems. And there'll be a rapid changeover now from having a spring garden. As soon as we go into summer, everything here will begin to look very, very tropical. I think it already does, really. We've got some amazing different palms like Butea capitata and the very hardy Trachycarpus fortunii. And as you can see here, we've cleared the rill, and in a few weeks' time we will show a demonstration where we're planting up all our pots, probably 3 or 4 weeks' time. But when we do plant up the pots, we have beautiful Agapanthus umbulatus ovatus and Scaevola, the fan flower. And it's fairly instant because our Agapanthus, we overwinter in polytunnels and they're already nearly in flower.